All right, some little bit more good Bitcoin news, even though everything is, the market's down and imploding. Stripe OpenNode team up to allow instant fiat to Bitcoin conversions for businesses. The new OpenNode app will launch on the Stripe app marketplace in the coming weeks. This is the end of May. Not sure how far they progressed with this yet, but thought it was noteworthy.
OpenNode, huh?
Yeah. FinTech firm Stripe, along with the Bitcoin BTC payments infrastructure platform OpenNode, are joining forces with Stripe's merchant customers to instantly convert all or portions of incoming payments to Bitcoin via the OpenNode app. The app gives businesses a simple and secure way to convert incoming payments to Bitcoin in real time, automated, or on demand. Josh Held, OpenNode's head of strategy, said in a statement on Tuesday, the new app will debut alongside the Stripe marketplace in a few weeks, OpenNode said. In February, OpenNode closed a $20 million series funding round by UK firm Kingsway at $220 million evaluation to fuel its global expansion. So basically, what I thought was cool about this doesn't go into like great detail.
No, it's just a broad general, what's the current status on it, pretty much.
Yeah, so how I ended up seeing this was like if a business has $10,000, it can set like a slider of how much like fiat and how much Bitcoin it wants to accept.
Yeah.
So,
like
and they'll like instantly convert it. So it's like if you want all Bitcoin or you want 50%, you want 20%, it'll instantly just convert it for you, and like you'll pocket that, and I'm sure they get a cut or whatever. But I don't know. I just think that's really cool for merchants and opens the door if like they want a simple solution, right? Like it's getting easier and easier to like, cool, I want 50% Bitcoin, or I don't know. I think Bitcoin's pretty cool, but I want 20% or 10%, right? Like as a hedge or whatever, right? So that's pretty neat. I think more and more stuff like this comes out, then people that run businesses that make pretty good profit can sit there and be like, it's another tool for them, right? The simpler the tools get, the more people use it, the more
user friendly.
Yeah.
Back to 6-9 months ago, when El Salvador decided to accept Bitcoin, and this whole controversy came about, like, oh, these people, like, they can barely live on their own salaries. Like, how are they going to afford the inconsistency and fluctuation of Bitcoin? And I think the whole campaign was fudged. It was literally fudged. They shouldn't have came out and just said, oh, we accept Bitcoin. Like, it's going to change our, economy, and like, we're going to thrive off of Bitcoin. I think whoever their marketing and strategist needs to get fired, because they missed one key part of that, which was that.
Right.
Which is that.
We talked about that.
Yeah, we did talk about that.
Yeah.
I don't know what podcast.
No, we didn't. I think it was offline.
It was off the books. It was off the books. It was off the records. But yeah, like I went ahead and told Alex, I was like, they marketed it wrong, because you don't market in a third world country where people are starving to death and like don't have any money. They're gonna put Bitcoin as their primary income to hold. You know what I mean? No, you accept Bitcoin, but you instantly convert to USDT tethered to dollars. Yes.
Bitcoin, Tether, you show people how to move it.
Well, that or
you can do that,
or you can accept it, or you can accept Bitcoin, and like this node does, you can program it to a contract and be like, hey, I want all of my money to be converted to USDT or USDC. I don't care what I get paid in. It could be Bitcoin, Ethereum, AMP, Doge, whatever.
Yeah.
I'll take the payment. You charge me a fee and convert it to dollars. And I think that marketing strategy would have made so much more sense in a third world country where it got so much criticism for, hey, they accept Bitcoin, but Bitcoin goes up and down like crazy. They can lose all their money and wealth in like that. You know what I mean? And for a street vendor who's living on below minimum wage, like, that is a beautiful thing. Like, you can literally be like, I'll take anything you have around the world. Any cryptocurrency you have, I'm just going to convert it to USDT or whatever currency I want.
Exactly.
It doesn't matter, because
it even shows the conversion rate in the app or something, right?
So they know what they're getting instantly. I think, he was talking about a couple months ago. Like we have Bitcoin, we have Tether Red on the screen, so everybody understands, because a lot of them went, oh, Bitcoin, I don't want that because I don't understand like the use case, but also that you can convert it, right? And
in the fluctuation, and also like these coins like Ethereum and like anything that's not stable coin is gonna fluctuate because there's buying and selling, and then there's manipulation involved. But if you get a USDT or USDC, which is tethered to the dollar, like we've talked about before, it's not gonna fluctuate. It's gonna remain the same at all times. Maybe like a 0.0001 in fluctuation, but that's inflation. So we just don't see it. Ours is worse. Ours is like way higher than that. But anyways,
That's funny.
Yeah. Anyways, if they would have marketed that way, like, hey, you can take whatever, Bitcoin, Ethereum, whatever. You can sell hot dogs. You can sell, clothing. You can have Rest full blown steakhouse and take Bitcoin. But guess what, guys? You can instantly convert it to dollars or your native currency,
Right.
for just as cheap or cheaper than what your ATM, American Express, Visa, MasterCard would charge you per transaction.
Right.
If they would have marketed that way, dude, like it would have been no brainer.
Right.
well, I think what they did with El Salvador is they gave them an account with Bitcoin. It's like you needed to give them something to transfer that or convert. Those very simple, like three
platform.
big buttons, and that's it. So they're like, what does this one do? What does this one do? Oh, easy, right? Like, or like a little short explainer, right? Because without that, you just have a Bitcoin wallet. It's like, cool, I got a fractionalized 1,000th or 100,000th, a millionth of a Bitcoin that was worth 50,000. Now it's worth 25, and now I got paid for half of my
$10 to 10 cents.
Right,
you know what I mean?
right.
Yeah.
Like I got 50% on my payment, and I don't get what's going on. Well, if you try, flip it right at the time that you receive it, you got your money. So, yeah. And like those fundamentals, obviously a lot of people aren't going to understand. So if you have it like baked in, then once again, the last couple of podcasts, this whole session tonight, we've talked about like industry standards and the things that like we learn in hindsight. And I think a lot of things, if another country does that, I don't know, I think Indonesia or something started receiving. I saw a couple of years ago, I believe it was them, were like using steamrollers to like roll over all their Bitcoin mining, and then like 2 or 3 years later they're receiving it. It's like so crazy, but the next country to do that hopefully has that understanding of, okay, how do we teach people how to actually use this, as opposed to just giving it to them and they get nervous and just want to throw it at somebody else and get rid of it because they want their currency or US dollars or whatever, right? Which doesn't help them, adapt to a system that's perfectly good and fine.
Yeah, so it's a big rabbit hole to get into. There's a lot of things that don't make sense, that make sense, but don't make sense at the same time. And it's just, you have to take a step back and look at the bigger image. Like, what do they mean by this? What do they mean by that? So the way I look at crypto right now is like there's a bunch of puzzle pieces, but all the connecting pieces are missing.
Yeah.
So you're just sitting looking at like, this puzzle doesn't connect with this puzzle. Like, I don't get it. It's missing pieces. Like, I can't finish this puzzle. Right. And that's where we're at right now.
Right.
We're just a puzzle that's missing pieces. Half of the pieces.
The initial idea is good. Like El Salvador, converting to Bitcoin, and probably long term, that's probably the best idea. But yeah, converting and all that stuff and educating people, right? Like, think about myself that's been to like high school and college. Like, you talk to somebody in a second or third world country that has, I don't know, maybe very little education. Yeah. Maybe some of them have great education. Crypto is still like confusing to somebody who has the internet and reads all the time, like myself or many other people. A lot of like U.S. citizens don't understand crypto. How the heck can I expect them to with very little education or, maybe moderate level? That doesn't surprise me. So I'm not surprised when you go, oh, like you're nervous by this and you just want to throw it away. Just like the Chinese, like digital currency, they were just like giving them away, or what? I don't want mine. I'll trade it for like actual currency. Like, I get it. Like, why would you want it until you understand it, right?
Yep. That's all we're trying to say is like, you can use it, you can store it,
Yeah.
or you can flip it. You can flip it to your native currency. It doesn't matter. It's gonna get used regardless. It's gonna go to someone else's hands. Someone's gonna hold it. Someone's gonna flip it. It just depends on your knowledge level in the cryptocurrency sphere ecosystem.
Currency fluency.
Yes. Once
There
you
you
can
go.
speak the language and once you understand, like you take a step back and you can see the bigger picture, you understand like, okay, in 10 years, you may not have 10 years. You may be on a daily budget where like I'm barely making it day to day. Or you can be like, I got 10 grand in the bank, just burning a hole in my pocket. I'm either going to blow it on partying and in cars and women, or I'm going to put it in Bitcoin and then reap it and buy a yacht and in like 5 years, whatever, Lamborghini yacht. Oh, I'm going to put a Lamborghini in my yacht. You know what I mean? Like whatever.
Yeah.
Or you can just, go out and have a crazy time with your money. But whatever the case may be, it's like, you got to think. Most people don't think this way because they're stuck in this like whole like mentality of like, wake up, work, go home, TV shows, go to bed, work, wake up, TV shows.
Right.
Oh,
They live day by day.
Day by day, but they live by the scheduled program. Oh, there's nothing on TV. Oh, what's on my phone? Social media. Like you get caught up on so much of this stuff, and it's like, I get it. It's very addicting. It's very entertaining, and it's very funny, and it's.
Or you just have a consuming life.
Yeah.
You don't have space for everything else.
You just like to take, but you don't know what to like produce or like to develop in your brain. I get it. Like you're just, and I've been there. I'm like, dude, I just been some part of my life. I was just like, what's on TV? There's nothing on TV. I'm bored, or social media is stupid, or whatever. It's like you just get caught up in this whole thing, and then once you take a step back and you become one of the few woken, you know what I mean? You gotta wake, you know what I mean?
Matrix.
Yep. You gotta pull the plug out, and you gotta look at it and be like, dude, there's this thing like where you can literally, we're living in it, and it's gonna be in the future. It's gonna be worth so much more. Like internet. Like I remember the internet, dude. The internet was like, what's the internet? You ask people, what's the internet?
Right.
I don't know.
Right.
What's AOL? I don't know. It's
Something that works every once in a while.
I just see a commercial for it saying
Right.
AOL mail. You get email.
Yeah.
I don't know why I need an email. I get regular mail. Why do I need an electronic mail? Like I don't get it. Like
Right.
it doesn't make sense. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, websites. Buy things. Go on www.petsmart.com or www. You can find us on the web, on the interweb. And then all of a sudden it became a social media. What's that? It's like evolution, caveman evolution, and you end up being in this realm. Now it's like Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, whatever. You're in it, dude.
Don't need to explain that to anybody.
Right now, you can literally become a brand. Tell me if you could become a brand in 1999. No way you could become a
Unless
brand.
you're a celebrity.
Unless you're a celebrity, or you had tons of money or investors to back you in your whatever genre you wanted to go into, like extreme sports,
Right.
music.
I can get on TV because
get
I'm
on
so
TV.
important.
Yep.
Yeah.
But now, you could be like us and get on the internet and have viewers look at us and be like, "Hey, man, these guys know what they're talking about. These guys are crazy, whatever." But we can become a brand into something and be, wake people up. You know what I mean? And that's what's crazy about this world right now that I trip out is like people that aren't becoming brands, people that are talented, people that are smart, people that have something to offer are not doing that. You know what I mean? They're just taking. They're just the, what do they call that? They had the consumer. They have consumers, and talented people are consumers, man.
Yeah.
And that's the crazy part about it, dude. There's people smarter than me. There's people more talented than me that can do so much more. But I'm on here. You know what I mean? I'm out here. You're out here. You know what I mean? Doing things. You know what I mean? You're smarter than me.
Thank you, I think.
No, you're smarter than me, and you're more talented than me. But like what I'm saying is like we're out here struggling and doing it, and we have the drive.
We understand the potential.
We understand the
see
potential.
where it's going.
Where it's going. And like, that's the thing. That's what divides us from everybody else, dude.
Yeah.
And that's freaking awesome. That's awesome.
Well, I think too, if you like you said, if you day to day or week to week, you're like, oh, Bitcoin's at 50,000. Oh, Bitcoin's at 20. Oh, Bitcoin's at 35.
Emotional.
Like, they just look at it at the moment. What it is, oh, it could go up or down. And they don't understand like what they're even looking at, right? Like, this is a decentralized global network. It's pretty significant, right? Like, and then you got to sit there and be like, is this valuable or not? And I mean, if anything, this podcast is telling you it is, but you got to decide that for yourself. And if you can't come to that conclusion, I'm curious on your logical ability. But yeah.
Going back to our, what is it? The top 10 gross companies, whatever, assets.
Yeah.
Example, Netflix, Apple, Tesla. Like, they're all companies that provide something, right? Like, you look at them, you're like, wow. Like, but where were they? Like, okay, so rewind. How long did it take Apple, Amazon, Netflix, Tesla, Facebook, Google? How long did it take them to be where they are right now?
Yeah.
10 years minimum, a decade.
Yeah.
I get it, like a decade. And now they're at the top tier. Now they're the FANG. Now they're like the stocks you want, but they have something to support. Like their product is real. Right. And cryptocurrency is not real yet, but once it becomes real, and once it becomes a use case, it'll be like 10 to 5 years, and it would be like a Google, Amazon, Tesla, Apple. It will be something like that.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. No one sees that. They just see the ups and downs. They see the green and the red.
Well, it might go up. It might go down. I mean, but Bitcoin's like, already in the top 10, and Ethereum was like, I don't know. It was at least in the top 50, if not 30, in the top assets of the world. And I'm sure once the market goes back up, it'll shoot right back up there. So, pretty crazy.
And once the top 3 start using it as their tender, as their reserve, it'll be number 1. But that's another conspiracy there. You know what I mean? Well, conspiracies don't come through. They don't come through here. You know what I mean? Like they're not a real thing.
Yeah, apparently not. But even like any of them, right? Like any of the top like 10 to 50 start using it. That's pretty significant. So, yeah.
What if all used it?
No, we'd be happy. we just tell you we're right all the time, and everybody would be stoked.
Yeah, it was a great podcast, man. Like talking about things, trying to explain to you why we're still talking about this, even though every sign is telling you that it's like on a trajectory to crash. We're still like, hey man, we're like those guys on the Titanic watching the ship sink playing the violin. You know what I mean?
Aliens are real. No, we just see the value, and we see the more stuff gets secure over time, especially the stuff so well made, is going to do very well. And that's like very obvious and something that anyone, should come to the conclusion of. If it's used and people love it and it's secure, then it's going to be around forever.
Yep. That's it right there, man.
That's it.
That's our final episode for 2 Dudes, 1 Garage. My name is Leo, signing out.
Final episode?
Not final episode, but
final episode of tonight.
Yes.
Thanks for hanging out with us. That's our final episode of July. Anyways, so we'll see what's going on. Hope you guys enjoy. There's a lot of good information, a lot of like interesting concepts here. So hope you gleaned something and was able to apply it to your own life and, do better for yourself. That's our hope. Signing out.